yes, H.P. Lovecraft, my favorite author. Now, one of his stories goes back, he wrote a short story called The Dream Quest of the Unknown Kadaf. I read this many years ago, back in the 90s, and I was always wondering, like, in this story, he took his nightmares and he made his own fantasy world around it. Known as the Dreamlands. All of his nightmares, all of his dreams are all mixed into this fictional land itself. So, what he did was, he wrote himself as the character, Randolph Carter, going through it, until he reaches to the final peaks of the Thoth at the end of Kadaf. But along the way, he runs into many of his nightmares. Now, one of the nightmares that he has was called the Zoogs. They appear much early into it, where they're these creatures that roam around the fungal and oak forest of the dream worlds. Very dangerous creatures. They're soul eaters and flesh eaters, but they usually go for fungus. He barely described them at all. I mean, what were they? He said they were slippery? Okay, that's one thing. They were brown, and they had weird eyes, and that was it. The rest is up to your imagination. Only Mr. Lovecraft knows exactly what they look for, but perhaps we can conjure this from him. And I will know exactly what one looks like. So, let's kill two birds with one stone. Yes, coming at the end of this month, we have, from Conjured Craft this year, sponsoring it, is going to be Monster Bash 6. Where you use a generator, a random generator that is, to create your own creature. So I decided whenever this random creature came up, this was going to be my official Zoog. Yes, so I just have to remember to keep it brown, slippery, and weird eyes, because that's all I have to work with that. And these creatures, they flock all through the beginning of the Dreamlands, quite terrifying actually. See, they not only crave the flesh of humans, they crave souls, but they usually eat fungus too. Just like Wellington over here. Wellington, you love the fungus, don't you?
Indeed,
You gotta put mushrooms on every damn pizza or foot fungus or everything. He's just hacks and hacks and hacks of fungus right there. Yeah, so this is how Monster Bash 6 works. Okay, well, I don't describe things that well. You've probably figured this out if you've seen this channel. So, okay, we'll go down into the link below. Here's the gentleman from Conjured Craft. He will describe it. And, okay, so let's get on the reel here. This is originally using their monster generator on the computer. Here we go. And as you can see, that was what we have here. So, let's get onto it right now. No, I'm only going to pretty much go through the basics of it, like a few different things that I've done. It's not going to be the whole creature. If you want to see a full sculpting video, we are going to have a link down below for the best sculpting videos that I have. That is basically, they're all the same method right here, just a few little different colors and things like that. So, let's go into the dreamscape of nightmares. Monster Bash 6! Okay, starting with the armature right over here. As you can see here, I am cheating, but I get to do that. You know why? I'm a villain, so I get to cheat. Now, what this is right over here is, this is one of those vinyl dinosaur bodies. Now, this will actually, can be baked in the oven, but there's a secret to it. First, I have to cut off the front of it. I packed it with aluminum foil all through of it very well, then covered it with the Wet System 105 system, and then covered it in the brigantine sand. As you can see from my former videos, I've done that quite a bit right there. And the legs have been reinforced with extra Aves epoxy sculpt. Just because, it's going to get, when it's in the oven, it's going to get a little bit, a little flimsy there with the heat affecting it at all. So that would work well for the body. Now, you don't want to breathe this in, though. I have a very special mask for this, or you could bake it outside. And as I said before, when I bake things, I make it at 225 for 50 minutes, 50 seconds. Well, that'd be some lousy super sculptor right there. So for 50 minutes at very low temperatures, and that seems to work very well for me. Okay, so there's the body. Woo! I have also added a few extra things to it here. Now, here's a raccoon skull here to give it a little bit of a hump. Now, if you need a raccoon skull, I guess you go to, where would you go for a raccoon skull, Wellington? Michael's? I guess Michael's a roadkill.
The side of the road.
Side of the road or something. I don't know. Red Lobster or something. I don't know. So I did that with the sand trick right here. I built this up with a little bit of clay that I'm going to. That'll be covered right there. And okay, for the neck here is a piece of. This is a piece of 3/8 basin riser, which it somehow disappeared from our kitchen. So that works out pretty good for the neck right there. And for the head, oh no, here we go. There's another raccoon skull. So apparently I come from a place where the raccoons just love to walk in front of vehicles and say, oh no, I want to become an armature, yay! Oh God, poor trash panda. No, it really does make me sad, but I'm giving them, they can come back and kill whoever was driving that Toyota. So that'll work out here. So I have another skull right here, and I inverted it. The front fell off. I inverted it and made it the inside of the mouth. And for the ears, I used some shells here. Now, these shells here I did not find on the beach. I think I went to Lidl, and it was in like the pasta with mussels or something like that. And I saved the shells because that could be put into an oven right there. Then that could be used for the ears. Okay, and yes, because if you remember here, okay, with my original rolls right here, this is what I originally had from the cards. These are the 6 picks that I had right here. Now, for the ears, okay, I was originally going to make devil ears for it, but, okay, I got the beetle, so I kind of made it like beetle wingish, so that's my excuse for that right there. And as you know, the Zoogs have, like, very bizarre eyes, and this was great right here. We have a mouth with eyes coming out of it. So I have the wide mouth right here, and the eyes are going to come through, and I have 2 eyes here. Then these have a W on them for some reason. I don't know. I'm kind of old. Maybe it's like that new stuff the kids are into, Pokemon or something. But okay, so I got to make a W-shaped pupils for those that's coming out of the mouth, and somehow they have a fluted language. So I guess that kind of makes sense. But they're from the nightmare realm. I guess they don't have to make sense. And let's see. For the these are the reasons I went for the reptile legs. Is there was a wispy sort of. Well, it looks like a basilisk. My friend of mine had a basilisk lizard. They're called, they're called the Jesus lizards because they run across water. That is a true story right there. They just get some momentum and they go right across. We saw those in Costa Rica, didn't we, Wellington?
Of course.
Yeah, no, I was like, I want to bring it home. I want to bring it home. And like, I couldn't fit that or the alligator inside of my bag, so that never happened. But, so they're these wispy legs, but they kind of look like either branches or tentacles. So I'll think of something once I get down to that point right there. So I'll make that very reptile-ish, and that gives me, the idea to do the reptile legs on there right now. This was part of a faucet spout that was originally going to be used for the whole figure. Turned out to be too long. Would not be able to fit in my homemade oven. So I cut that, and that's why we have the different neck right over here. And okay, also, like, importantly, there's impressions of eyeballs, or with the eyes, they didn't really come to fruition, so that's going to be on the top. The real eyes will be in the mouth, and I guess it's got like a mammal nose and sharp little teeth. Because I remember, yes, Randolph Carter in the story was getting nipped by the Zoog, so I couldn't make it like ridiculous teeth. They got to be little nippy teeth, so these worked out real great there. Ah, yes, and the centipede. We all love centipedes. So for the centipedes, he's going to have all these pointy legs coming out. And the trick for that is going to be this. Okay, now you go to your beach, because every state has a beach in it, and you wait for the crabs to molt. See, right there, you have here's the regular molted leg. So what I do with here is now if you get them fresh, you can pose them and then get a little bit of epoxy and reinforce it on the joints and put a wire through it right there. The next step of that will be to do this is to cover it in epoxy and sand, very fine sand right there. So that'll reinforce it and the clay will stick to it much, much better. And the final is the sculpting over it, and you can make these nice fungoid wonky legs that'll be all through the Zoog, so it could like carry things, like I think in the story it was carrying a gourd full of like moon wine or something like that. So it needs the ability to grasp right there too. Okay, so we're going to build up from here.
Baragonis, come back here! You forgot the luminous butt!
I was trying to get away from that because I haven't figured that one out yet, but okay. You got me on that one. You got me, Wellington. Oh, yes, it also has a luminous butt. It's, I try to get away with just doing, like, the ears for this, but I have to give it a luminous butt. So, I haven't figured that out yet. So it has to have some kind of firefly effect to it. Okay, so how should I do that here? I might try to run a DC volt wire through it and bake over it. I'll have to test that in the oven because I'm going. I use the low temperature. And okay, since it's 12 volt, it won't catch fire or anything like that. So if it works, it works. If not, then I'll figure out something with reflectors. But yes, somehow the butt or the end of the tail has to be luminous. Okay, I almost got away with that one. Damn you, Wellington! Damn you! much is that Zoog in the window? Oh, one with a phosphorus tail. How much is that Zoog in the window? 2 yogs for thought we hell.